This week's First Chapter Friday is Nick Blake and the Remarkables by Angie Thomas. Angie Thomas is the same author that wrote The Hate You Give and Concrete Rose and On the Come Up and a lot of those young adult novels that were realistic fiction. This is her first novel that's written for sort of middle grade students, and it's also a fantasy story, so it's very different from her other books, although I will say I've loved all the books that she's written because she's just a really good author, and this book is awesome. So this is the first in what's going to be a series. This one's called The Manifestor Prophecy. Nick Blake and the Remarkables begins with a dedication that says, in honor of Virginia Hamilton and all of the ancestors who knew we could fly. So one of Virginia Hamilton's most famous books is a collection of folk tales called The People Could Fly. One. Hellhounds, Haints, and Happy Birthdays. When my best friend JP turned 12, his parents bought him a phone. It was a super big deal because 1, JP loses everything, and 2, his parents think phones are quick access to the devil. I didn't know the devil had a phone. For her 12th birthday, Alabama McCain down the street got a sweatshirt once worn by a member of her favorite K-pop group. Weird, but not as weird as being named Alabama, even though you're from Mississippi. Sean Cole got a four-wheeler for his 12th. Now he likes to ride around the neighborhood knocking over trash cans. His mom says he's being a boy. I say he's being a butt. For my 12th birthday, I've got them all beat. My dad's going to teach me how to use the gift so I can finally be a real manifestor. First, I've got to catch a hellhound. I tiptoe through the woods so the leaves don't crackle under my feet. In yesterday's homeschool lesson, Dad said hellhounds can hear sounds from hundreds of miles away. I think I can smell a hellhound from hundreds of miles away. Wherever this thing is, it's filling the forest with a strong odor of boiled eggs and Fritos. Remember what I told you, Knick-Knack, Dad says. His voice is around me like he's speaking on an intercom. Look for the signs. Hellhounds always leave a trail. Trail of what? Funk? I wipe my forehead on my arm. You'd think 8 in the morning was too early to sweat, but it's normal for late May in Mississippi. The sun glares through the trees, and the air is thick and sticky. Feels like walking through toffee. I grip the handle of my net. The mesh is made from giant's hair, one of the strongest materials on earth. Although I zoned out for most of Dad's hour-long lecture, I do remember that giant's hair is one of the few things that hellhounds can't chew through. I also remember that hellhounds breathe fire. So I search for signs. Burnt leaves, scorched earth, smoke. Up ahead, a pillar rises into the air. Where there's smoke, there's a hellhound. I tiptoe in that direction, and bam, there it is in the clearing, a hellhound with brown fur that stands on end. It has horns, which means it is actually a she. She's the size of a tiger, and she gnaws on a bone as big as she is. Hey, better that bone than me. Now to catch this thing. If only I knew how to use the gift, this would be a breeze. But no. You're too young to learn, Dad said. It's nothing to play with, he said. Wait till you're 12, he said. Those rules stink, I said. Lucky for me, I'm 12 today, and that means goodbye rules. But at the moment, all I've got is my net. I raise it above my head as I inch closer to the hellhound. Good doggy. Don't worry about this live 3-course meal walking toward... And she sees me. I freeze. She can smell fear, Knick-Knack, Dad says. Don't be afraid, says the guy who isn't 3 feet from a hellhound. Nope, I'm not going out like this. One of us is going to attack first, and it's going to be me. I take a step. She growls and takes one too. I take another step. She charges. I nearly pee my pants. She tackles me to the ground. Hundreds of pounds of hellhound pin me down. The stench burns my eyes. I'll never tell Sean he stinks again. If there is an again, I'm probably seconds from pearly gates and angels. But suddenly, the hellhound shrinks. She smells like cheese. Not great, but not bad. And instead of biting my head off, she licks my face. The woods dissolve, revealing my backyard, and that fire-breathing, gigantic hellhound is a tail-wagging little hellhound pup. Dad's standing over on the patio, laughing. Happy birthday, Knick-Knack. He waves his hand, erasing the rest of the illusion he drew, along with the concealment mojo that kept our neighbors from seeing that our backyard had become a forest. My dad's a pretty good manifestor. He managed to make this furball look 10 times her size. In reality, she's no bigger than a shoebox. I wipe her warm slobber from my cheeks. Is she mine? I'm not saying names, but somebody has been bugging me for a hellhound or a dragon. Since a dragon ain't happening, a hellhound it is. I grin. See, I knew you'd get the hang of things. You may want to hold off on that celebration, knick-knack. Please believe there are rules if you want to keep this pup. Name them. Dad raises his eyebrows. Who are you and what you done did to my kid? Because the Nicole Blake I know hates rules. Apple, I point at myself. Tree, I point at him. He laughs. Touché, Miss Blake. What are you guys doing? Dad and I jump. JP, Dad says with a deep breath. Good morning to you too. My best friend peers over the fence that separates our backyards. JP's only the second friend I've had ever in my life. The first was this girl, Rebecca, who was in my homeschool group in Atlanta. We bonded over Oreos. I thought I'd never have a friend like her again until JP strolled along. When I first met him, he wore a dress shirt and bow tie like he was ready for church on a Sunday instead of fourth grade on a Tuesday. Nobody forced him to dress that way either. JP just likes bow ties. He held out his hand and said, I'm Joshua Paul Williams. You can call me Joshua Paul. We call him JP. Sometimes Pastor JP because of the bow ties. Plus, JP's dad is a preacher, and JP has a freckled face, round belly, and short brown hair just like him. JP's the only black kid on our street besides me, and that's not why we're friends. JP's the one kid who doesn't think I'm the weird homeschool girl. Also, I'm not 100% sure JP could survive without me. I'm not saying that because he's an unremarkable either, aka he doesn't have the gift or any supernatural ability. Mostly everyone around here is an unremarkable. I'm saying that because he's a hot mess. He adjusts the holder straps on his glasses. Sorry I scared y'all. My mama says I'm sneakier than a snake in slippers. Snakes don't have feet, I say. Yet I somehow get what she's saying, Dad adds. How long you been standing there, little man? JP shrugs. Not long. Thing is, a majority of unremarkables don't know about the gift, or know that remarkable creatures really exist. On top of that, they can't see that stuff. But illusions are so powerful that they're the one remarkable thing unremarkables can see. Luckily, the concealment mojo should have kept JP from seeing the illusion Dad drew, and my puppy should look like a normal puppy to him. But there's a teeny tiny chance that he saw something. Unremarkables have those moments. They usually explain it away by saying their mind's playing tricks on them. Mr. Blake, my mama asked if Nick is going with us to the book signing tonight, and if I can go to the museum with y'all tomorrow, JP says. She would have asked herself, but she gets shy around you because she thinks you're cute. Don't tell my daddy I said that. Ew, JP, you don't say that out loud. It's the truth. Dad shakes his head. We've lived in 10 neighborhoods so far. I keep count. And Dad's had a fan club in every single one. He's tall and lean with a dimpled smile, dark brown skin, black locks, and tattoos covering his arms. Know what it's like. Know what it's like having the cute father in the neighborhood? Disgusting. I want to vomit on the regular. Nick can still go, Dad says, and you can still come with us tomorrow. Tell your mama I said thank you for taking her tonight. Yes, sir. I can't believe we're going to meet TJ Retro. And he's going to sign our books, I add. JP and I are the unofficial but should be official leaders of the TJ Retro fan club, along with official editors of his unofficial wiki. We've read his Stevie James books 100 times. They're about this foster kid, Stevie, who finds out he's a magician and attends a magical prep school with his best friends Kevin and Chloe. One day he will have to battle the evilest magician in the world, Anan. The magicians and their magic remind me of Manifestors and the gift a little bit, but in real life the gift is more powerful than magic. You see, the gift is an innate power that lives in us Manifestors. Magic, on the other hand, is a corrupt form of the gift. It's hard to control and super destructive. Also, magic in real life can only be performed with a wand, and the magic in wands runs out after a while. We Manifestors don't need wands. So, although the Stevie books aren't accurate, they're cool. The third book in the series came out last week, and Mr. Retro's making a book tour stop in Jackson tonight. JP and I have held off on reading the new book, and we're avoiding all spoilers until we get our copies signed. That's discipline right there. Good old TJ Retro and his inaccurate books, Dad mumbles. How could books about magic be accurate, Mr. Blake? JP asks. Magic isn't real. Yeah, Dad, how could they be accurate, I say. He side-eyes me, and I grin. Dad hates books about magic. He calls them fabricated tales written for profit. Technically, all fiction books are fabricated tales written for profit, but I let Dude have his moments. He clears his throat. They're just not my thing, JP. In other words, he's got no taste, I say. Dad puts me in a light headlock. What you say? Get off, I shout and laugh. He plants a big wet kiss on the top of my head. I got taste, he says, letting me go. The best taste. Remember that. You wish, I say, as my hellhound jumps up my legs. Check it out, JP. I finally got a dog. Since JP is an unremarkable, he can't see the smoke she lets out as she squeaks, or the small horns on her head. But JP barely glances at her. I better go. Vacation Bible School only waits for Jesus. Happy birthday, Nick. He disappears from the fence, and I frown. What's that about? With JP, who knows, Dad says. Come on, we got to get started with your school day. The other kids in Jackson got out of school for the summer earlier this week, but Dad homeschools me year-round. Today, that's A-OK by me. It's gift lesson time, baby. Time to finally become a real manifestor. You see, although we manifestors are born with the gift inside of us, we still have to learn how to use it. And there are lots of ways to use it, too. The easiest is with mojos and jujus, which control the elements. We can do stuff like form fire in our hands or make water shoot from the ground. If we do it with good intentions, it's a mojo. Bad intentions, it's a juju. We can also use our minds to summon objects or create illusions and tons of other things. It can take years to learn to master the gift, plus manifestors are still discovering new ways to use it. I don't have to know a ton of stuff, but geez, I'd like to know how to do something. My puppy scuttles behind us into the house. We've lived in Jackson for 2 years now. It was New Orleans before this, Memphis before that, Atlanta, Charleston, D.C., New York. Basically, we've lived in a lot of places. Dad let me choose our new city this time, and I picked Jackson. I can't explain it, but it felt like the place we needed to be. I gotta say, I made a good decision. This is one of my favorite houses so far. It's got an upstairs and a basement, and it's in an artsy neighborhood called Fondren. Once a month, there's a neighborhood-wide festival, and on Sundays, Dad and I can walk to the diner a few streets over for milkshakes and cheeseburgers. It feels like we found a home here, but any day now, Dad could say, "Hey, you up for a change of scenery?" That usually means, "Hey, an unremarkable caught me using the gift, so let's get out of here." That happens a lot. In the kitchen, a deep growl rattles the door to the basement. I sit at the counter. Is that the demon you caught at the governor's mansion? Dad waves his hand and a light glows under the basement door. The demon squeals. Yep, second one in 2 weeks. I swear, demons can't stay away from that place. Dad's a handyman here in Jackson. Unremarkables don't know that 85% of their household problems are the result of haints, demons, ghouls, and other remarkable creatures. 12% of what's not caused by creatures can easily be fixed with the gift. The remaining 3% require a screwdriver and a prayer. All right, knick-knack, Dad says. Quick quiz. When did we manifestors first receive the gift? Aw, man, here he goes with this. I'm ready for gift lessons, not a quiz. But I gotta do what I gotta do. Our ancestors were first blessed with the gift while they were enslaved, I say. It was given to them so they could escape to freedom. You sure about that, Dad says? Oh, shoot. The fact that he asked me that made me not sure. I think I am? Sorry, baby girl, you got this one wrong today. Remember what I always tell you. Nothing about any black people started with slavery. For us manifestors, the gift was first given to our ancestors, the Walinzi in Africa. We're focusing on them for today's lesson. What? But I thought you were going to teach me how to use the gift. Today is the day I'm supposed to learn, remember? Dad frowns. It is? Yes. On my 11th birthday, you said I could learn when I turned 12. Before that, you said on my 10th birthday that I could learn when I was 11. I don't remember. And on my 9th birthday, you said I could learn when I turned 10. That was a while ago. You sure? I pressed my lips together. Dad, this isn't fair. You told me you learned how to use it when you were 10. I did. I also grew up thinking it was a quick fix for everything, but it's nothing to play with, I say. There can be real consequences, I say. You could hurt yourself or Somebody else, I finish. I've heard this a million times. I just want to know how to use it for simple stuff, like to draw an illusion to make my room look clean, or ways to use it on a gamer troll. Or you could actually clean your room. Please do. I caught a whiff of some serious funk in there the other day. I'm definitely not teaching you how to use the gift on a gamer troll. You'd mess around and make some poor kid's teeth fall out. I widen my eyes. You can do that with the gift? Dad purses his lips. Like I said, the gift's not a quick fix for when you're in a bind, baby girl. Besides, it ain't got nothing on this. He taps the side of my head. Your brain's the only gift you need. You're the only gift you need. Everything you need is inside of you. Well, since the gift is inside of me, don't I need to know how to use it? He smirks. You're persistent, I'll give you that. I think we should wait another year, Knick-Knack. I want to tell him to give me a chance, that I'd be careful. I promise I would. That I want to know that I can do it, that I'm a real manifester. But Dad won't listen. He never does. I sigh. Yes, sir. He kisses my forehead. Let's get this Wallenzy lesson out of the way so we can head to Miss Lena's. So this book is very action-packed and very fun. I think fans of Percy Jackson, I think fans of Amari and the Night Brothers are definitely going to like this book. It's got a lot of action, a lot of like scrapes that they just barely escape. You're good. Just come check it out.